au Congo. Ce sont eux qui sont dans les mines.
As you were explaining, the FDLR who went back to the Congo.
FDLR, who went back to Rwanda, were taken. Some of their family members were taken hostages by Paul Kagame, who then trained them, gave them weapons, and sent them back to the Congo. They are the ones who are now working in the mines and overseeing the taking of the resources of the Congo.
I agree with that too. It's another piece, is that the FDLR, in some cases, are people who can't, whose families are held hostage, and they're forced to go back to Congo, or they're forced to make testimonies in Rwanda that accuse other people. You know, Kagame's whole strategy is accuse everybody. Everybody's got everybody accusing everybody, and as long as you divide and conquer like that, you can successfully prosecute conquest.
La deuxième chose, c'est à ce qui concerne l'armée congolaise.
The second thing about the Congolese army.
Je ne dis pas que l'armée congolaise, il y a longtemps de cela, ne commettait pas de viol.
I'm not saying that the army way back, the Congolese army way back, was not committing rape.
Mais cela n'a jamais été des viols en masse comme maintenant et systématique.
There were never though mass or gang raping as today, and systematic raping of women as it is today.
Vous savez que quand il y a eu le RCD Goma,
you remember when the RCD Goma,
et ils ont parlé de la transition où ce mouvement est entré dans le gouvernement.
When they spoke about coming together where this RCD and these movements joined the government.
L'armée qui travaillait pour le RCD Goma, c'était des éléments Tutsi rwandais.
So the elements that were in that were working with RCD Goma were Rwandan Tutsis.
Et ils ont été intégrés dans l'armée congolaise.
So they were integrated in the Congolese army.
Vous savez également que les éléments de la fameuse so-called rébellion de Kunda CNDP.
Also the element of CNDP of Nkunda.
I agree with you that most of the raping in eastern Congo is probably being committed by infiltrated Rwandan army soldiers.
Parce que le problème, c'est quand on veut chercher une solution et qu'on ne touche pas à la source du problème, alors tout est faussé guide. On ne peut pas trouver des solutions.
Yeah, when you try to find solutions, if you don't get to the root of the problem, then you can't find solutions. You can't find real solutions.
Le Congo a 9 provinces, plus Kinshasa. L'armée congolaise est éparpillée sur toute l'étendue de la République du Congo. Pourquoi il n'y a pas de viol dans le Kasaï, dans le Katanga, là où il n'y a pas ces éléments de l'armée, de Tutsis qui ont intégré l'armée congolaise?
Yeah, she's saying that the Congo has 9 provinces, and throughout all these provinces, no rape is taking place being perpetrated by the Congolese army, not in the Kasais, not in the Katanga, except in the part of the country where Rwandan Tutsis have been integrated in the Congolese army.
Oui, parce que dire que c'est l'armée congolaise, c'est en quelque sorte le travail de Kabila, c'est détruire la communauté congolaise. Et c'est l'armée, quand on parle de l'armée congolaise, c'est l'armée congolaise. Et ce n'est pas vrai.
So it is not true that when you speak of the Congolese army, it's the Congolese army. It is not true, so you have to be able to understand that, so that people know that this is not really Congolese army.
La troisième chose, c'est concernant les Maïmaï. Vous l'avez dit, les Maïmaï, c'est un groupe qui s'était formé pour protéger les terres congolaises contre les envahisseurs Tutsis.
The third thing is the Mai Mai group that you spoke about, that in the beginning, yes, it was organized to protect the Congolese for the invading armies of the tutti hanno poca dame.
Comment expliquer aujourd'hui que ces gens-là commencent à faire du mal aux gens qu'ils protégeaient? Kagame a encore une fois créé ses propres maïmaï.
Okay, so how can you then believe that the people protecting the Congolese people will turn around and hurt them? Again, once again, it's Paul Kagame who has created his own mind. So that's what it's happening.
The Kagame machine and the Museveni machine work by infiltration and blaming the victim and blaming the atrocities, what I called pseudo-operations, on someone, on Congolese. So they'll infiltrate the Mai Mai, and the Mai Mai then will, the supposed Mai Mai, which are the Rwandan Mai Mai, will commit atrocities, which justifies the blaming of everything on all Mai Mai, which then, you know, divides and conquers all these groups in the Congo. It's very much true. Rwanda and Uganda are the biggest problems of the Congo at present. Israel and the United States are right behind them. But
okay, well,
anybody else got a burning question? Because maybe we should just conclude.
I actually have one last question. I waited till the very end, if I might ask. I know you mentioned AFRICOM. I just wanted to hear briefly if you had any comments to make about the fact that South Sudan is going to soon become independent of North Sudan. South Sudan is the location of the oil that really is the main economic resource of the Sudan. So when it leaves, AFRICOM is rumored to be stepping into South Sudan. And what effect do you see that having on the whole situation, both in Darfur and in Congo, Rwanda?
You can't separate what's going on in Sudan from Uganda or basically from northeastern Congo. South Sudan is at this point an American protectorate. We did exactly what we did in Rwanda and Uganda in South Sudan, which was a slow war of attrition, funding one side, blaming everything on the government of Sudan. The whole human rights discourse about Sudan over the last 15 years has basically blamed everything on Bashir as if we aren't even there. And there's that whole discourse about slavery and how the Arabs commit slavery against the Southerners, and there's the discourse about the South, of course, is Christian and the North is Muslim, so it works perfectly for the United States and Britain, etc. But the truth is, we've taken control of South Sudan already. So this referendum, it's basically this strategy that Museveni and Kagame have used everywhere, which they're used in Darfur. They're using everywhere, and that is to fight, fund somebody, arm some insurrection, fight, create a guerrilla movement, portray it as an African guerrilla movement, demonize the government in power, and then call for peace talks. Hold some peace talks, and while the peace talks are going on, participate in the peace talks, and at the same time be organizing the next wave of invasion. That's exactly what happened in Rwanda. It's what's happening in Congo. It's the slow usurpation of the eastern Congo to create a protectorate for Rwanda and Uganda, and that's exactly what happened in South Sudan and what they're trying now to do to North Sudan and Darfur. So yeah, and I haven't even mentioned Blackwater. Blackwater private military company, mercenary company has been involved in South Sudan, training South Sudan, supposedly training the police. Well, that's not what they're doing in South Sudan. So the Blackwater and some of these other private military companies, there's a whole bunch of them that were in Somalia that I can never remember the names of, really obscure ones. And some of these guys are connected to mercenary operations in Iraq. Same companies, white companies, you know, white guys like I showed you, Tony Buckingham, Tim Spicer. These guys operate in Iraq, they operate in Central African Republic, they're operating in Sudan. This is the problem with the world, and it's the problem in the whole region. So.
Well, Keith, thank you so much, and thank you to the audience, and you've been great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And we hope you come back.